enjoy English school. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
It's day 2 of our 2-day article on the story of theme parks.
Yeah, 我们接下来继续要介绍我们昨天提过的这个主题哦，探索主题乐园的身世，对不对？我们昨天有稍微提到说，主题乐园它本身历史非常非常悠久嘛。然后我们第一届的这个万国博览会是在这个布拉格，然后后来的话还有世界博览会，是1851年的世界博览会是在伦敦的海德公园。然后接下来我们还提到说，博览会上面我们可以看到什么呢？有许多世界各地的新发明。我们昨天提到了这个摩天轮，还有它的故事。然后最后他告诉你说，美国经济呢在这个20世纪初的时候开始蓬勃发展，是因为工业革命。到后来的话也连带影响到这些主题乐园，他们可以不用再跑来跑去，他们可以在一个地方常住，让全年想要来玩的人都可以来玩。
That's exactly right. We learned yesterday how traveling fairs with acrobats and musicians and performances turned into world expositions and world expos, world's fairs, where we learned about new technology like the Ferris wheel, the telephone, touchscreens, and video chatting. And because of the Industrial Revolution, now people had more money to spend, and soon permanent theme parks were established. And today, we're going to talk about some of those really big names, some really fun things, and I can't wait to talk about it. Let's go.
The story of theme parks. By the 1920s, amusement parks had entered their golden age. They were open all year round, and anyone with money to spend could buy a ticket to enter, enjoy the rides, and watch the sideshows. Hundreds of them popped up around the U.S. and featured rides like the carousel and roller coasters. While many amusement parks were focused on providing visitors with a fun atmosphere and exciting rides, other parks built their attractions around a specific theme to make visitors feel like they had stepped into a different world. These theme parks have grown even more popular in recent decades. The very first theme park in the U.S. was Santa Claus Land, which opened in 1946. The park amazed children with its Christmas-themed rides, toy shops, and visits by Santa himself. But without a doubt, the most famous theme park of all time is Disneyland. This popular theme park was first built in 1955 and continues to bring fun and joy to children and adults alike across the world. Today, you can visit Disneyland and experience everything a theme park has to offer. Go on rides inspired by movies, take pictures with actors dressed as famous characters, and even enjoy food that looks like it came straight out of a movie.
Welcome back, friends. Let's jump right into paragraph 1. By the 1920s, amusement parks had entered their golden age.
好，我们来看第一段的第一句话。By the 1920s， 这个地方如果提到是那种年代是那种10年的1920年代，我们前面会加 the。好，在这里的话，你可能有聽過人家講 the Roaring Twenties。
I was just thinking that.
哦，真的嗎？ 我就讀到他的腦波了。所以那個時候剛好是經濟起飛了，尤其是1918年。打完了第一次世界大戰之後，百廢待舉，所以很多時候經濟整個起飛，藝術文化整個都大爆炸，所以他們就說咆哮的20年代。Amusement parks had entered their golden age， 就是黃金年代，也同時也影響到，這也是主題樂園的黃金年代哦。
They were open all year round, and anyone with money to spend could buy a ticket to enter, enjoy the rides, and watch the sideshows.
好，你看看，所以 they were open all year round， 是全年都开放的。这个 they 当然指的是 amusement parks。And anyone with money to spend， 只要有钱的人呢 could buy a ticket to enter， 都可以买票入场 enjoy the rides， 所有的设施让你玩 and watch the sideshows， 还有机会看到一些那种表演。
Now, we talked yesterday that be careful with enjoy the rides. We won't say play the rides. Students really want to say this. We don't say play. like we do in Chinese. Chinese, we say play a lot. You don't say it in English. Experience the rides, go on a ride, do a ride, ride the rides, 但是不是 play the rides.
没错，这是我们昨天老师讲的 sit up， 好，坐好坐正，我要听你讲。
大家被吓
大家被吓一跳，对吧？真是抱歉。但事实上这个是很重要，在动词的搭配上面，我们要特别注意一下。
Cool. Our next sentence says hundreds of them popped up around the U.S. and featured rides like the carousel and roller coasters.
好，你看看他前面提到说很多各式各样的 enjoy the rides， 他就告诉你了，对不对 ？Hundreds of them。我们上次有提到 millions of people， 对不对？这边又碰到 hundreds of them， 你要习惯听到那个 zof 的声音，你就不会忘记那个 s 了。Hundreds of them popped up around the U.S. 在全美各地呢，就出现了很多这种主题乐园 ，and featured rides like the carousel and roller coasters。他们会有一些主打的商品，比方说像是在六福村还在哪里，可能他们有什么笑傲飞鹰啊，有一些那种特殊，大家说我要去玩的那种感觉，对不对？他们就是主打的这些游乐设施 ，like the carousel 就是那种旋转木马 ，and roller coasters 就是那种云霄飞车。carousel 这个字的话，其实还有机会听到，应该是在机场的时候，你要去领行李的时候，他们会有一个很像一个很多那种。像是有点像回转寿司一样那种东西，把你的行李运出来，那个也叫做 carousel.
Okay, and one thing we need to think about, in the 1920s, the United States did not look like America today. There were not 50 states. California, not a whole lot of things happening there. Las Vegas, 没有存在 really. Florida, the American South, was a lot emptier than today because it was hot and there was no air conditioning.
所以你想想看哦，像我们现在去看的这个时候，1920年代的美国跟现在美国很不一样，没有那么多的这个州郡，对不对？那个加州也不是现在这个样子，然后很多南部的地方因为太热了，没有空调，所以其实事实上在那边的话也不是很多人会去的。
That's right, and that has a big influence on what will happen with Walt Disney. Now, we know in the 1920s, Walt Disney is starting to make Mickey Mouse cartoons, but he doesn't have his theme park yet. That comes later, but because of this idea, there's air conditioning is not everywhere, that kind of changes his thinking, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in our next paragraph. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's begin paragraph 2. While many amusement parks were focused on providing visitors with a fun atmosphere and exciting rides, other parks built their attractions around a specific theme to make visitors feel like they stepped into a different world. That's a long sentence.
没错，我们来看这一段里面最开头的这句话哦。他说 ，While many amusement parks were focused on providing visitors with something， 我们先到这个地方看一下。While 这个字就告诉你说，后面我会提两样东西。我们现在碰到的是第一样，虽然有很多的这些主题乐园。主要把这个焦点放在 providing visitors with a fun atmosphere， 好，希望能够给予这些游客 a fun atmosphere， 那种非常非常 atmosphere 这个环境 and exciting rides， 还有的人是注重环境氛围，然后让你觉得很刺激的这种游乐设施。Other parks 有没有 ？While 它后面就会提到其他的这些主题乐园呢 ，build their attractions， 把他们的这些设施。Build their attraction around a specific theme， 他们就针对一个主题，可能是主题像是 Super Mario， 或是其他这些主题 Harry Potter。
六福村 has like Village and USA World，
所有的这些建筑物啊，都是围绕这个主题打造出一个魔幻的环境 ，to make visitors feel like they had stepped into a different world， 感觉上进来之后好像置身在一个全然不同的这种世界一样。
These theme parks have grown even more popular in recent decades.
所以 these theme parks 这些主题乐园开始越来越 have grown ever more popular in recent decades. 在近几十年来呢，开始变得非常非常的有名，而且越来越受欢迎了。
I think all the biggest theme parks do this. Disney, Universal, Liu Fuchun does it. I feel almost all of them try to do this now.
没有错，大家都开始进入到，我们要开始打造主题了。
And of course, the biggest theme park of all is Disneyland, which you probably know, and there's one in California, one in Florida. But how did those first two parks end up in California and Florida when there wasn't a lot of stuff there at the time?
所以老师刚刚不是上一段有提到说，我们在那个当时1920年代的时候，可能不是像现在美国这样子嘛。当时的话，南方很热啊，等等。为什么当初1920年代的时候，迪士尼乐园会选择把乐园建在这个California 跟 Florida 这两个地方呢？
So Walt Disney originally wanted to put Disneyland on Grand Island, which is the largest freshwater island in the whole world. It's very close to Niagara Falls, which was very famous in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's also really close to big cities like Toronto, Chicago, Detroit, and New York City. You can all drive there in one day. It seemed like the perfect spot. But there's one big problem. It snows there a lot. It's really cold. I'm from that place, and it's cold, and you can't stay open all year round in that weather. California and Florida, however, you could. And air conditioning had finally been invented.
原来是这样。因为老师本身是水牛城 Buffalo 那边的人，所以他对那个地方环境非常非常的熟悉哦。所以老师当初在选择这个场址的时候，迪士尼当初本来想是把它设在 Grand Island。Grand Island 的话，离很多大城市都好近，然后离那个 Toronto 啊，加拿大的 Toronto， 还有美国的这些那个 New York 芝加哥啊，
纽约城市，对，
都好近。开车1天就到了，应该是最好的首选。那为什么后来会选择在佛罗里达这些地方呢？原因是因为老师刚刚就讲说，在冬天的时候，它的话其实很容易就结冰了。于是到后来，如果说他发明了空调之后，比较聪明的做法就选择在南方提供空调，这样全年都可以营运。
That's right. So, because of air conditioning and free open land, Disney chose somewhere else, and that changed kind of the way people traveled in that area. And with that, let's get ready to start our next paragraph. Hey, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's finish up with our article today, and I really like this part of the story. This is really fun. Ready? The very first theme park in the U.S. was Santa Claus Land, which opened in 1946. I want to go there.
Yeah, 没有错，在这个地方很好玩。他说 ，The very first theme park in the U.S. 在美国的第一个主题乐园呢 was Santa Claus Land。它居然是来打造成这个圣诞老人村那种感觉 ，which opened in 1946， 在1946年的时候开幕了。
The park amazed children with its Christmas-themed rides, toy shops, and visits by Santa himself.
好了，现在告诉你这个主题村呢，它主打的是什么 ？The park amazed children with 这个地方帮我把这个 with 给圈起来。如果 if you say amaze somebody with something 的时候，就是用后面这个东西让这个人感到哇，好酷哦！什么东西呢 ？It's Christmas-themed rides， 尤其是那种设施都是跟这个圣诞主题有关的 toy shops， 很多的玩具的这种玩具店啦 ，and visits by Santa himself， 圣诞老人会跑来拜访你，来抱抱你啊，跟人家说 ho 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 Merry Christmas， 那种感觉真的超酷的啦。
Right, so just like Anthony said, amaze somebody with then he said wow. And actually, that's a really good synonym here, 同义词. We can wow somebody with something. W-O-W-W-E-D, wowed somebody with something. Now, before we continue, Santa Claus Land doesn't exist anymore as a theme park. But we still have something called Christmas villages that you can even see in Taipei nowadays.
Oh.
There's one like near 101 at Christmas time, right? So Banqiao has one in Taipei. So when I was a little boy, one of my very favorite days of school, we went to a Christmas village with Jida, 2年级. We took a bus. I'm not sure where we went, but there were Christmas rides. We got a Christmas cookie. It was very cold and snowy, and we sat on the ground. Santa Claus's wife told us a story and gave us hot chocolate. And then Santa Claus came and talked with us and gave us letters. It was one of my very favorite days ever of school. I don't know why I remember so much of this day, but 2年级, I'm almost 40. I can tell you almost everything about that day. That's crazy.
Wow, that's so memorable, right?
It's Santa. Like I saw Santa all the time. It's America, right? But I remember that Christmas village.
太酷了！老师有提到说他都在美国小学2年级的时候的体验，然后刚好是可能大家就带他去这个圣诞村嘛，然后很多人就坐在雪地上面，然后呢之后那个圣诞老人的太太就拿出了热巧克力，圣诞老人出来了 cookies， 然后给他们信啊，然后跟他们讲话等等。现在老师已经快要40岁了，都还会记得他在7、8岁的时候发生的事情，可见那种感觉是多么的强烈。
Santa Claus Land was a big deal, and we still even have it today, even if that park is kind of gone now. Let's continue. But without a doubt, the most famous theme park of all time is Disneyland.
好，最后告诉你 ，but without a doubt， 当然毋庸置疑的事情 ，the most famous theme park of all time， 史上最伟大或者是最有名的这种主题乐园，当然是迪士尼了。
That's right. This popular theme park was first built in 1955 and continues to bring fun and joy to children and adults alike across the world.
接下来你这个地方你会特别注意一下，你会看到这个 children and adults alike。这个地方你帮我把它先圈起来 ，children and adults alike 就是 both children and adults， 就是两个人，成人也喜欢呢，是孩子，老少都嫌疑的这种感觉。所以整句话就是说 ，This popular theme park was first built in 1955。那迪士尼乐园当初最初是1955年建立的 and continues to bring fun and joy to children and adults alike across the world， 能够带给全世界的男女老幼都非常非常 fun and joy， 非常非常愉快的这种体验。
Today, you can visit Disneyland and experience everything a theme park has to offer. Go on rides inspired by movies.Take pictures with actors dressed as famous characters, and even enjoy food that looks like it came straight out of a movie.
哇，这句话也很长，对不对？我们来一步一步来看哦。他这边提到说呢 ，Today 时至今日呢 ，you can visit Disneyland， 好，你可以去到迪士尼乐园。And experience everything a theme park has to offer. 这个地方你要特别记得 has to offer 多半是提到一个景点，哪里有好吃的，哪里有好玩的，你有尽情的去享受它们。好，这个地方它是蛮常听到的一种固定的说法。Go on rides inspired by movies. 好，这些游乐设施呢，往往都是跟这个电影相关。Inspired by movie 就是跟电影有关的，是受到电影的启发的灵感，才造出这些设施的。还有继续他说 ，Take pictures with actors dressed as famous characters. 你有机会可以跟这个迪士尼乐园里面，我印象最深刻的是那个 Darth Vader。Darth
Vader?
Universal, yeah, in the Universal Studio. 然后他会拿出那个剑，然后那个剑然后卡住了。有机会跟他们照相 ，take picture with actors， 然后 and even enjoy food， 他甚至可以吃一些食物 that looks like it came straight out of a movie， 甚至他这个食物感觉上就是从电影里面直接拿出来的。好，如果说今天你在哈利波特里面看到某些食物，啤酒啊等等，你进去这个他们里面的设施，有机会也喝到同样的啤酒。
So there actually is one thing that you can't experience at Disneyland if you're an everyday regular person like you and me.
Oh,
that's right. In fact, there are secret hotels, secret restaurants, and secret rooms all over the Disney parks.
哇，所以说今天你以为说在里面大家都可以享受到的东西，每个人都可以享受到吗？不一定哦。其实上，在这个 Disneyland 里面，居然有一些秘密的社团。
That's right. For example, in the famous Cinderella's castle, in the middle of the park, there's a hotel room that's saved for very famous or important people, or maybe sadly if you're like a really sick little kid.
所以说今天呢，在那个 Cinderella Castle， 就是在灰姑娘城堡这个地方呢，里面它就是一个 hotel， 它是专门给一些非常非常有名、非常非常有钱，或者是运气不好的话，如果是你今天是病得很严重的病童，有机会去体验的一个住的地方。
But definitely the most famous secret place at Disney is Club 33.
Club 33 听起来就好像很神秘，对不对？33号的这个社团 Club 33， 这是最神秘的地方。
That's right. This originally was planned to be the apartment for Disney at his park, but he died before it was finished.
哦，所以说今天本来是要给 Disney 他自己住的这个公寓，对不对？但后来这个完工的时候，刚好迪士尼它本身也过世了。
That's right. So if you want to be a part of this club, number one, they need to invite you.
Oh.
And if they don't want you in there, you're not coming in.
哦，所以说今天你要有机会住进去的话，他们要先邀请你。
That's right. So again, you need to be probably really famous and really rich. You're not allowed to take pictures of anybody else inside. Only the people you're with and your food. Can't take pictures of anybody else.
哦，所以说今天就算你进去之后，你要去照相的话，你也不能够随便乱照，你只能跟你同行的朋友之间去照相，而且不能够因为看到其他人，他们都有他们的隐私。
If you want to join Club 33, you need to spend at least 1 million NT to join, and then every year after that, you need to spend 500,000 NT just to stay in.
哦天哪！所以说今天如果你要加入这个 Club 33的话，你必须要先花大概台币100万，然后每年的话固定缴50万才能保持你的会员资格。
And when you go in there, you still have to pay for the food, you still have to pay for the drinks. And for a long time, it was the only place you could buy beer or alcohol in all of the Disney parks, but that actually changed recently.
所以说今天原本的话是在那里面，你还是要花钱消费啊什么，不是说我是会员就不可以白吃白喝，没有，你还是要花钱，而且原本的话是在那个地方才能够有机会买到这种啤酒酒类的饮料，但是现在最近的话好像有一些政策上的改变。
Boy, this was a really fun 2-day article. We could easily do day 3, but we are out of time. When we come back, we got Vocab Review. All right, friends, it is time for Vocab Review. Let's check out our important words and phrases for today. Number 1 is all year round.
All year round 就是全年的意思。
That's right. Number 2, we have a verb phrase to pop up.
Pop up 就是突然很快出现的量很多很大，这样砰砰砰砰出现的。
Just like popcorn, you probably have heard of pop-up stores.
Yeah, 快闪店，各位听过 pop-up stores？ 那个 pop 跟 up 中间还有一个连字号的 pop-up store， 就是那种突然出现、突然消失的感觉。
Number 3, we have a noun, an atmosphere.
An atmosphere 就是气氛、氛围的意思。
Number 4, we have an adjective, specific.
Specific 很明确的 ，a specific theme 就是很明确的主题。
That's a very useful word. Next, we have a verb to amaze somebody with something.
To amaze somebody with something 就是用什么东西让某人感到惊艳，他觉得哇好酷。
Number 6, without a doubt.
Without a doubt 就是毋庸置疑的。
Number 7, we have everything something has to offer.
Everything something has to offer 就是这个任何这个地方能够提供的好吃好玩有趣的事物。
Everything we could give you. And then lastly today we have to be dressed as something.
To be dressed as something 就是扮成什么样东西的人啊，或是事物。
I just thought of a story before we go. So you were talking about Darth Vader got stuck.
Yeah.
If you want to be a costume character at Disney, you need to be the real deal. And in the movie Beauty and the Beast, there's a very strong guy named Gaston.
Gaston.
That's right. And somebody thought he was real strong and, he's just an actor. And he challenged Gaston to a push-up contest. And Gaston blew this guy away, smoked him, kept doing push-ups. One hand, can I help you, sir? And if you want to be a Disney character actor, you need to be the real deal, which I think is super cool.
没错，老师提到的 real deal 就是要真的有本事。所以说今天你要在里面做一个这个变装啊，或者要扮成什么样子的那种卡通造型啊，你必须要这货真价实的感觉。比方说像老师提到《美女与野兽》里面有一个角色叫 Gaston， 要很壮。所以说今天的话在里头的话真的是很壮的人才能，像我这样的话绝对不行，绝对会打回票。我们两个都不行，都没有用。
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for it. Enjoy English School. But we'll see you again real soon. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.